Good morning, YouTube. We are just a couple minutes late this morning because I was yakking away and not paying attention to the time. Good morning, Lucy.
Good morning. And how are you doing, Miss Tina?
Good. I'm good. You're good. Hi,
No.
good morning, Nate. You're always the first one here. Hi, Shirley. I'm glad to have you today. It's been a while since I've seen your name in the live comments. I hope you guys are doing well. I hope everybody has been out there sourcing for all of the fun fall things.
No, I'm not. I'm not doing good. My doggie got sick this week, or she has a sprain in her neck, and so I wound up at the doggy ER all yesterday morning. So she's doing better today though, and she's got some muscle relaxers and meds, and they gave her a shot, and it's
always heartbreaking taking our animals to the vets like that because we get scared. We don't know what's wrong with them, and so scary. Good morning, Anna. Good morning, Robin.
But she's
good morning, Reno.
Good morning, good morning, good morning. And then Nate asked how hubby's doing. He's doing good. He's doing good. He gets to unlock his brace tonight to like 90 degrees. So he's excited, and he can go in the hot tub, I believe, after today. So I want to verify that one before I throw him in the tub. But he hasn't been able to soak because of the sutures. So he's kind of excited if he can get in the hot tub for a minute. But all good, all good. Another 2 weeks, and then he can put weight on his legs. So that will be amazing.
Very nice. So today we have a few topics to cover. And should we wait for a few more people to join in before we dive into some of those topics, or just get going on them?
Well, I want to talk just about the Starbucks one real quick, and then
I wondered if you were going to want to talk about that one first.
So I will share my screen real quick. Starbucks, FYI, every Thursday in the month of September is buy one, get one free. Now, it has to be particular flavors, so it's the fall ones. And FYI, I had a pumpkin spice latte, my first of the season, the other day. I do believe that the formula has changed. It is still okay, but it is not like it used to be. I wish they'd go back to the old formula. And then I was watching some lady who did a whole bunch of critiques on the pumpkin spice reel. That one that was shared in our group.
That was such a great reel. Oh my God, it was funny.
She goes through all the pumpkin spice flavors and everything, and then also just tried out the apple. It was like apple pie or apples. Anyhow, she said apple and coffee don't mix. Don't do it. Don't do it. Y'all have been warned. Important stuff here.
And hey, look, for those of you that are out there sourcing and like that Starbucks caffeine midday, make Thursday a sourcing day and get that buy one, get one free on your coffee. And that's why we share, because those of us that are out and about in the world and doing retail arbitrage sometimes like a cup of Java to perk us up during our shopping.
I'll probably do it with my daughter because she always loves Starbucks, but it's like, it's so expensive. I'm like, girl, I cannot justify spending that much money on a drink for you.
Good morning, Millennial Mom. I see you there.
Bring the old formula back. Yes. In fact, I'm going to Google that while we're talking. All right. You had some exciting eBay stuff, so I want to hear about that. You wouldn't even tell me this morning.
So for those of you that are doing eBay along with me, or that are also doing eBay in your Amazon business, there is a YouTuber that I watch. I watch a lot of other YouTubers. Just because I'm on YouTube doesn't mean I don't watch YouTube. I absolutely am always learning new things. So this YouTuber shared about the Wrangler shirts, which I've always known that Wrangler shirts do well, but it's specifically a keyword that he uses in his titles that sell them for the higher dollar amount if it's this kind of a Wrangler shirt. So I found this Wrangler shirt, and it's the ones with the snap buttons, the pearl snap buttons.
Yes, pearl snaps.
Yes, the pearl snap button Wrangler. And I can't remember what I paid for this. I have it written down in my eBay log. Probably no more than $7 for this shirt. And if you will pull up the comps on eBay, do you have that here in our links? I shared a list of the solds in
eBay. Okay, gotcha. Okay. I'm going, clicking.
And the magic word for these Wrangler Pearl Snap shirts is this word, brush topper. If you look up Wrangler Pearl Snap shirts in eBay, you will see that they will sell for far less, like $20. But the ones that are selling for 50 and higher is when you use the magic word brush topper. So
Brush
for those
popper?
that I don't even know what it means.
What is it? What is a brush popper? Okay,
I
now I gotta know. I'll
don't
go to this one.
know.
But
So
it's
whatever, I'd have to Google what the word means. I felt like I didn't care. And this is one thing that I like to tell our bundlers and those that are in our bundles course is that a lot of times we are in the business of selling the keyword. Sometimes it's not even the item. Is that Wrangler Pearl Snap button shirt any different than the other Wrangler Pearl Snap button shirts that are listed that are identical shirts? But why are people searching brush popper? Now, I don't know. But what I do know is those shirts with that keyword in the title do sell for a higher dollar amount. Now, these people took best offers. However, I'm sure it was still a pretty high offer. Look at 125 on those, 152, 149. And it's always got brush popper usually in the title. So for those of you that are out there sourcing the thrift stores or yard sales, take a look at all of the Wrangler Pearl Snap button shirts. And those are some pretty good buys in my opinion. So
right,
that is my eBay
definitions.
share of the week.
I got some definitions for you. It's a cowboy, especially ones that work in the brush, and it is water repellent, wind, dust, and sand resistant work shirts. So
there you have it.
They be working shirts and
yep,
whatever. I mean, I don't have that type of background. I mean, the most rodeo I got is at UNLV. They'd have the rodeo there every year, and I'd just get mad at the drunks walking around because they were jerks. But I'm sure there are a lot of people out there that are knowledgeable in this niche, but
yeah. So how many eBay sellers are here with us today? I know a lot of us Amazon sellers also sell on eBay. I like sharing some of my eBay tips once in a while on a Friday. So if any of you are also thrift store yard sale hunters, let me know. I like sharing some of those high dollar eBay flips.
All right, Tina and Anna, I got something for you. I searched to see if the pumpkin spice latte has changed. And it has changed, so you get fewer pumps of flavoring. And if you want the old formula, you need to ask for 10 pumps of flavoring. So that's the best thing I've learned all day. And it's only 8 o'clock, so this is going to be an awesome Friday. So, anyhow, they're saying it might have changed because of pumpkin ingredients. Did you want me to go to the next thing we're sharing?
You can. I was quickly trying to look for that video of the girl that did the coffee creamer reviews because it's absolutely hysterical and I want to share it with our audience. So I was going to put it in. Okay, I found it. You'll have to forgive me because it's going to make a noise here on my computer. Maybe not.
Are you sharing it with me or?
No, I'm going to share it with
okay.
those in the chat in case they want to watch this video. I think it is so funny. It's the girl that does the reviews of all of the pumpkin spice creamer. So I just shared it there in the chat. If any of you want to click on that and watch it later or pause us and watch it now, pretty funny.
Yeah, the other stuff on here is saying that it's because they added real pumpkin instead of all artificial, but I don't know. I'm going to try this 10 pump trick and see what works. What I liked about the video that Tina's sharing right now is it goes through all of the coffee creamers that you can buy at the stores. And she ranks them in order of, tastiest to least tastiest. And of course, the Coffee Mate comes in pretty high up there. And the Dunkin' one came up at pretty high, but the Starbucks one was pretty low. And I was at the store the other day going, which one do I buy? And now it was kind of fun to see her take on all the flavors on which ones were absolutely disgusting.
And what does this have to do with selling on Amazon or eBay? Absolutely nothing. But most of us love the great coffee.
No, because you can sell Coffee Mate on Amazon.
Yeah.
Coffee Mate is not shelf stable. It is not made with any dairy. So there is a ton of bundles and things you can sell. And creamer is one of those hot things, especially those weird flavors that come out. So that's all we can talk about on that, but we are looking at creamers for selling as well as eating. and it helps us fuel for the day, right? I start off my day and I need fuel, and I'm all about saving money. So I make my coffee at home because I can make a big old pot for less than a
Yeah.
Starbucks.
Oh, yeah. We drink our coffee at home too. But, when I'm out and about during the holiday season, I do like to treat myself to Starbucks once in a while. I know some people are daily Starbucks drinkers.
I
Spend that
wish.
money on Wrangler snap shirts instead. You'll make far more money.
Yep. All right. You want me to do this topic next?
Sure. This is a really cool topic. This is a very cool website that I discovered through one of my clients. So, one of my clients let me know that she had a coach from this company. And so I inquired more about it. I had never heard of this opportunity.
Very exciting. I have a local thing that I'm on, and it will do all sorts of things. It can link me up with other people in my area, such as CPAs or other businesses that are part of it. They have free classes on like bookkeeping and things like that for small businesses. But
Yes.
this one was pretty cool too. Online courses. Yep. Online courses.
And they will pair you up with what you're in need for. So if you're trying to learn how to do your business bookkeeping, they even had e-commerce mentors here. There is a big drop down menu when you go to sign up. You plug in your zip code for SCORE mentors in your area. And a lot of these people are retired business executives or CEOs, and they're retired and they volunteer to do this. They volunteer their time to help business owners, and it's all free. And I thought this is very, very cool. And I haven't signed up yet, but I'm going to, because I'm really intrigued by doing this and seeing what a coach can mentor me in and maybe expand my knowledge more, from somebody who possibly was much more successful than I am. And even if they are not, you always have something to learn from somebody else.
Oh yeah, and a lot of us, like you mentioned earlier with the eBay, we're entrepreneurs. We're not necessarily always about just Amazon. Amazon happens to be the place where it's at right now, but who knows the next year if it's going to be Walmart, if it's going to be Poshmark, if it's going to be Mercari. Your lifestyle and what you are passionate about is going to change over the years, and keeping up and knowing how to network and knowing where to start, so that if you do get if I wanted to go into, branding my own coffee and selling it, like how would I launch that Shopify site or a brick and mortar, or if I wanted to open up a cafe or buy a franchise, those are all business ideas that are legit and really cool. And so having places like this to learn from and expand are awesome. So good find, Tina.
Yeah, and so I just went to their drop down menu on my computer. So they have areas for you to be mentored in is accounting and finance, advertising, bookkeeping, branding, budgeting, a business plan, a business structure, your cash flow, contracts, customer service, cybersecurity, digital marketing, e-commerce, financial literacy, funding, loans, government contracting. I think those are some great categories and a lot of great options for us e-commerce sellers.
Absolutely. Very cool. Very cool. I didn't see where to find that, but
when you click on your zip code on the SCORE webpage,
okay,
it takes you to another page that is an application that you would fill out. Then there's a drop-down menu further down that application for you to choose what topic you are wanting to be mentored in. So you can put in a zip code there, and then select an area you would like to be mentored in, that drop-down arrow.
Where are you seeing it?
Right there, right where your mouse is at. Select an area you would like to be mentored in. Then there's a drop down. It's up higher.
Gotcha.
There you go. There you go. And these are the different categories that they offer mentoring in. I mean, I would want to select several of them. So I don't know if we start off at one at a time, but look, intellectual property.
Import, export. Heck yeah.
Look, I think this is an awesome opportunity, and all of us should really be taking advantage. Look at tax planning. I think this is so cool. And it's free, you guys. It's free. And you're being mentored by those who are successful and highly knowledgeable in these areas. My client that I'm working with weekly, who I'm her coach, she also is a client of the Score. And she says her mentor helps her with her financial planning of her business. And her mentor is in their 80s, and she said sharp as a tack, but they've long been retired, and this is something that they like to do to keep themselves busy in their older age and retirement. They still have something to offer. They're just in their 80s and not trying to be in the workplace anymore. So I thought that was such a cool share from her.
All right. So I had a little bit of a story to tell, and then we've got questions to go through. So everybody here, if you do have questions for the day, please go ahead and ask them here. Sometimes we know the answer, sometimes we don't. Because if you're going to ask about Inventory Lab and the new workflow, if the APIs are working 100%, it's been hit or miss for the last 2 weeks, whether the APIs flow right or not. I have noticed that you have to let it flow, get the green box, then the box to buy your shipping label will pop up. So if you're trying to click fast, you kind of got to slow it down and wait. And if you bypass that, then you go back to going through Amazon, and then you can't get the boxes to print out in the right order. And so there's still issues there. And if you know, some of you are going to be like, what in the world is she talking about? And others are going to be going, oh my God, exactly. I know exactly what you're talking about. So that's okay. If you don't have a clue what I'm talking about, then that's all right. You probably don't do the Inventory Lab push through API feed to Amazon. And that's all right. But my story is kind of, I don't know if it's soapbox, but I'm going to call it a soapbox story. So we run a BOLO group, right? And we have our ladies source a combination of manual, combination of tactical arbitrage. And for those in the group, we are going to be trying out SourceMongle as well. So you're going to get some kind of bonus leads coming up here. And then if we like SourceMongle a little bit better, then we'll go that way. But one of the things that we do is every once in a while, we will buy a sheet from another place. And this is for a couple of reasons. One, we want to see what is the competition doing. And we'll get like a 1-day sheet or a 1-week sheet or whatever, something that's small things. And we'll get to your question, but good question there. So we'll often buy these sheets because we want to see a couple of things. We want to see, how are they sourcing? What kind of leads are they giving you? Are they really good leads? Are they crummy leads? What's going on with them? How is it presented, the actual formatting of it? Because, we have our links set up in a way. Usually the formatting is based on wherever you're pulling the data from. But, how much time and effort are they putting into their leads? Are we putting in the same amount, the better, worse? All of the things we're going to analyze. And so this week we bought somebody's lead list. And we're not going to say whose, because I certainly don't want to. I want to talk about the experience and what it's been. And this has been kind of the same for, I've bought, I don't know, like 5 or 6 now in my lifetime. How many different people have you bought leads lists off of?
Oh, several over my journey of selling on Amazon. Several.
Yeah. So, but combined experience, I'd say at least over 15 different sheets from different places, different people, etc. So we pull this sheet and we each bought a different one. First thing we noticed is that some of the leads were on each sheet. So the person who is selling this course is selling the leads on several different sheets. Now that's one thing to just be aware of, that happens. And if you are looking to go buy sheets from somebody, you may want to test that out. You may want to buy a few different samples, and or this one was like different categories. And so I bought one category, Tina bought a different category. And we noticed that some of the same things were on there. One was like a rando sheet and one was like a specific category. And that's concerning, because if this lead sheet is going out to me and now some of those leads are going out to everybody else, the price tanking is going to follow. The second thing we noticed, and this was a long conversation with one of my Fiverr people yesterday, was sometimes the websites are not verified. Now, our VA does pretty good, but she still slips up as well. And so if you're going to be on any sort of leads or you're looking for your own leads, you have to do this yourself. You need to verify where the heck you're putting your credit card information. And so I was working with this lady yesterday, and she was kind of surprised on how many, we went down some of her stores that were on her lead list, and most of them were scams. They were scam pop-up Shopify stores that had no reviews, nothing on Trustpilot, nothing on any site. And if they did, it was very few reviews, and the reviews were stole my money, stole my money, stole my money. I'm like, okay, so you kind of got to vet those stores that you're going to be shopping at and make sure that you don't get hosed. When I was first starting on OA Sheets and I had bought from this one guy, I had my credit card hacked twice. So again, maybe you want to have a dedicated card towards that. So if it does get hacked, you have other options. You don't want your bank account hacked for sure, and be aware of that. So I'll do two things. I will go and take the name of the thing, so www.storename.com, and then space reviews. And then what was the other thing I do? Oh, policies. If it turns out that it's a good store, like this is legit, reviews are good, it's, maybe hit or miss, there's a couple good, couple bad, but, out of 300 reviews, it's getting a 3 or 4 star. I will go down and I will look through their policies. And in the fine print, I do a control find, and I will look for the word resell. Resale, reseller, third party, Amazon, any of those keywords to see what their reselling policy is for Amazon. Because a lot of them will say, we forbid you from selling on Amazon. And if you're going to work with that kind of company, that's your own prerogative. Sometimes I will, sometimes I won't. Like Pampered Chef. Pampered Chef is awesome if you can keep your numbers low and don't flag it. But if you get flagged, you get a little letter saying, we do not sell to resellers and you have been 86th from the company. Ask me how I know. And so then you get flagged. And I don't know. I mean, maybe I could just order off of my husband's account, but they are not reseller friendly. So how bad do you want to work with the company? If you order 2 or 3 here and 2 or 3 there, you can stay under the radar, but that's not really good for scaling. So in the long term, it's not a very good business relationship to foster and keep going. But, you do you. It's not illegal by any sense of the terms, but if you get on their naughty list, they will 86 you. So, then I'll make sure that the policies are good if I want to work with them, make sure it's a legit company. And then I'm always going to order a very small batch to start with to see how does it arrive? How is it packaged? What kind of BS is going on, and make sure it's all good to work with before I do a large purchase with that. So our leads list, I mean, Tina does an amazing job going over them in the morning, and we still have some of our seasoned people will point out, hey, this was not an exact match or anything like that. So they take a lot of work, but it is definitely worth it if you're going to go down that route. And lead sheets can really help you out if you're going to grow to having your own VA or grow to having, doing your own sourcing, or you're just starting online sourcing. Buy a month, buy 3 months, buy a week, buy a day sheet, and use that to learn. Tina and I like it because we get our eyes open up to new stores, which is always great. New brands, always great. And that was the last thing I think you wanted to talk about, was the IP issues. Sometimes they're caught, sometimes they're not caught.
Well, when I was looking over the leads list that we got, was it 2 days ago? Yesterday, I spent several hours going over the leads. So a few of us bought some leads sheets. So I compared 4 different lead sheets just to open my eyes, like Lucy said. Well, the one thing I noticed was by buying somebody else's lead sheet, I did discover a couple stores that I had never heard of. So that it was worth it for that. The leads on the leads list overall were okay. There were less good ones than there were good ones, which can be common. But how I use the leads and I spent a few $100s yesterday. This is how I will use a lead list. Sometimes the lead list in and of itself, or the lead on the list, is good. I buy it. But then I go on a rabbit trail. So here's for instance, Yesterday, there was a lead on their lead list, if I'm going to use theirs specifically, and it was of a brand named item that I knew of. It's a brand name item that I cannot get a wholesale account with because they say they don't allow Amazon sellers, yet they don't come after Amazon sellers for selling their products. So, okay. And I decided they only shared one lead of this name brand item on this particular site. So I went through the site and checked out every other item of that brand name. And there was maybe like 50 of them because I know that that brand name sells well. So something that would be common would be Walgreens, right? Walgreens a lot of times are on lead list and they will have a vitamin sale all the time, buy one, get one free. And so your VA, or if you're on our buy leads list, somebody else's group's buy lead list, same idea. So Walgreens may have a buy one, get one free on a particular vitamin, and they only have one that's shared on that lead list. Use that opportunity to look at every single vitamin on Walgreens that is a buy one, get one free, and see if you can find other vitamins that are on Amazon that are for sale. And so always go on a rabbit trail from your leads list. If a VA is sharing a particular lead, let's say from Kohl's, and right now Kohl's has a cash back deal where you spend the $50 and you get $10 back, and maybe they shared a lead of some Nike slides that were a good deal. Look at all of the Nike shoes. Are there other Nike slides that are on sale? Or are there other, if it's a sale on shoes, are there other shoes that are on sale? And can you now double dip getting the cash back from Kohl's? And please, please, please do not forget to have your Chrome extension plugins. And if you don't use the plugins, you're going to have to manually go to Top Cashback, Rakuten, or Rebate Me Not, or whatever. I can't remember what it's called. It pops up on my computer. Retail Me Not. Sometimes one of those cashback sites is offering a higher percentage back than another cashback site is offering. Good morning, Land Shark Picker and William. I see you guys hopping here in the chat, and I want to acknowledge you.
Yes. So the value, to me, the value of a lead sheet is not necessarily the lead that's exactly on the sheet. It is, I'm going to pull and scrub the store name, like add that to my list of places to source at if it's good. And then the brands, vet the brands. If the brands are good ones, then that's going to go into my list of what to look for. And the rabbit trails. So it's teaching me how to source, where to source better. And then the rabbit trails are going to be my better leads. And what I like, or what I tend to find better leads with, is, let's say on the leads list, you have a ketchup lead that's really good and it's on sale at Fred Meyer's right now. Well, you go and you look at that ketchup lead, and then you find the one that's paired with mustard. And now you go source that mustard, because a lot of these lead sheets are generated from tactical arbitrage, from sites that can only pull one. They can't pull from two items and compare for those bundled items that have a really good margin. But you can. You can see that, okay, ketchup's on sale. Where can I find mustard? Can I find it wholesale? Then can I make that bundle that's already on Amazon and capitalize there? So it's you got to learn how to work them. I know that Nathan and Hustle Buddy has had some really good walkthroughs. Same concept when he's there scanning. He's going to kind of get those initial ones. And I remember him doing mustard and specifically in one time. And it was, you find one and it's like, okay, that's not really that profitable, but it's almost break even. It's a little bit of profit. But now when you pair it to something else, it's really amazing. So it's work though, people. It's work. A lot of times.
Yeah, salad dressing might be on a leads list, right? Some wishbone salad dressing because it's on sale. And on the leads list, they shared the Italian. Well, for the love of God, go check out ranch and all the other flavors.
William says he's had a lot of disappointing ones and it's a time suck. It is.
It is a time suck. The sourcing is the biggest time suck. The finding the good leads is the biggest time suck. It takes a long time, especially when we're analyzing them to make sure it is a good buy or a good lead. Or even if you're doing your own manual sourcing, it does take the longest time of all of the parts of Amazon. But once you find that good item, you can at least replenish it for as long as the replenning is good.
Yeah, that's where the the saving is you build those replens. So you may
Yeah.
have one replen this week, and by the end of next week you have 2 or 3, and then by the next week you have 5 or 6, and by the end of the month you have 10 or 15, and you get up to this replen cycle where now you lose 10 a month, but you gain 10 a month,
And partnering up with friends. In fact, this is how Reseller Mom and I ended up joining up.
Yep.
Was then we started sharing leads with each other, because how is that going to get flooded if I'm just sharing it with her, or maybe just a small core group of other resellers that you partner up with? There are leads that I have shared, or have been shared with me, even from people besides Reseller Mom or Lucy, and that we've shared with each other. And so that's the great part about partnering up and making friends with other resellers. I mean, certainly we don't want to share them all with the whole world, or then it's not a good lead anymore. But if you have a little core group, call it a mastermind, call it teaming up with some friends. They don't even have to be in the same state as you, and just sharing some leads with each other. If I have 5 and she has 5, we now have 10. And that's pretty much how we started.
Yep. All right. I'm circling back up to Artie's question. How do we sell bundle without UPC number? GTIN exemption.
GTIN exemption. Yep. You have to do that process.
And I think we have some videos out there on our public things. And then in our bundle group, we have walkthroughs exactly how to do that.
And thank you, William. We're glad you like it.
Yep. Let's see here. He also says, really, most of the time I feel like I'm better at sourcing than these leads list people. You might be. My guess is they're taking the best leads for themselves and selling us the rest. We don't do that.
That's true, because I was going to say, I will say that the VA that we use, she puts her leads on our sheet every morning, and every morning I go through them. Now, there are errors that I didn't catch, because I'm trying my best to say, okay, does that coupon code work? Is the brand on Amazon matching the brand of the item? So, and I only have, so much time that I can overanalyze them. There are a lot of them that are on the sheet that I remove, that I don't share because they're not good enough, or the brand name was generic and most people aren't going to be able to sell it, or, there was something wrong with it. If anything, I remove leads that I do not share. Any leads that are on there that are good, I share all of them. I don't cherry pick and keep any for myself. In fact, if anyone in our groups ever question that, I'll do it live. I'll do the.
Yeah, we could.
I'll give them the master sheet that I originally have, and they can have all the leads that I didn't share. So, and I didn't share them because they weren't good. So for us, we don't. However, that's not to say that other people maybe don't do that, but I can vouch that I do not.
The other thing, though, is also the VAs. If one VA is sourcing for one person and then they're generating leads for another person, it's hard to know if they aren't just copying and pasting and selling that lead list to, 5 different people out there. I know that there's a lot of, behind the scene things that happen. And it's not, we could sit here and fret about it all day, but at the end of the day, some people are good, some people are not so good, and we're not gonna change them either way.
And I do want to point out this, that William said about leads lists seem like they should be a time savers, and they end up being a time suck. The reason I want to agree with this, because they still are a time suck, because we still do have to vet them, which is what we just said a moment ago. But that rabbit trail, they end up being a time suck. Yet at the same time, what are we going to do? That's still what we're going to do. And then his next point is that you feel like you're better at sourcing than these leads list people. And let me tell you, sometimes I feel the same way. However, probably just like you, William, is we have a lot more years of experience, and we now already have brands and stores that we know and we like and we kind of look for because we have experience. However, in the beginning journey of me on Amazon, I really relied on those leads lists, and they got me to where, like, oh, okay, I never thought about sourcing this brand or this store or these kind of items. So they definitely can be very, very helpful. And I do still find them helpful to this day. I do enjoy the VA giving me leads. because of that rabbit trail. And sometimes I just like, I get lazy. I don't know about you, William, but I just get lazy. And it's like, oh yeah, I hadn't thought about that in a while, or I quit sourcing there, or I quit looking at that category. Or so sometimes it kind of puts a fire under my butt.
Yeah. And I would say with any of the lead source with the time suck thing is put a time limit on it. Say, I'm going to go down rabbit trails for 1 hour and time yourself, or do it until you gain, I'm going to go down until I find 3 good things to purchase today and hit my quota for purchasing or for profits or whatever it is. But yeah. And I know you're not knocking ours.
Oh yeah, no.
Ours are, to be honest, we have the same problems that everybody else does. The way our gal runs TA is probably similar to others. That's why we're looking at other, Source Mongrel and other things. Because you can't, the stores we all shop at are the stores we shop at. It's not like we have stores that we have access to that nobody else has access to. And so you got to keep that in mind and go down those rabbit trails with whichever one you're doing.
Oh, I have another point from the leads list. Now, it has been a while. But from a lot of the leads, the VA had been finding some unique sites that I had never heard of, right? So this happens on any lead list, not just ours, any lead list. I was scrolling down to the bottom of the page. And I'm not talking about Walgreens and Walmart. I'm talking about those obscure websites. Yeah. And I will scroll down to the bottom to see, do they offer wholesale? And several of them do. There was one that was like a Hawaiian coffee company of some sorts. And the coffees looked really good. And I believe you could have got them at Walmart at the time. I don't recall what it was now. When I scrolled down to the bottom of that site, they offered wholesale and I signed up for it. So, make sure you're looking at that too, especially when it's a new, different site. So once you've checked Site Jabber and you see that the site is good, it's legit, and you're confident in buying off this site, scroll down to the bottom. Maybe you're buying directly from a barbecue sauce company, right? And it's their company, just their sauces. Scroll down to the bottom. Do they offer wholesale? And that's a great way you can find and get some wholesale accounts.
Yep. All right. We got questions, and I'm going to go just down on the YouTube channels on some of the questions that are out there. So Tina has not been privy to any of these. We didn't talk about them before. We talked about all the other stuff this morning, but
pop quiz. Right.
Pop quiz. How would you go about the process for getting different batches to flow into one working shipment? I have not been able to do this in 2-3 weeks. It's not working.
So are you talking about like one big shipment and it's getting divided into multiple?
No, I'm talking about taking batches and when it workflows to get it into the same shipment. Mine always goes to a different shipment.
Oh, dunno.
Okay. No, it seems to not be working very well right now, unless if you have massive...
I've been struggling with Inventory Lab this week. I'm having a love-hate relationship with them, with getting my shipping labels to be able to print out on Inventory Lab, having to finalize it in Amazon instead, having the shipping labels come out in different orders. Like box 1 has the weight that I entered in for box 3. So I'm putting that label on, box 1's weight was 20 pounds and box 3 was 40, and the Amazon one flipped the box order. I'm just putting it on the box that weighed that much because I'm hoping that's what they did. I just feel like my shipments are a crapshoot this week.
Yes. And I have tried in the last 2 weekends to get different batches to flow into one shipment, and it's gone to different shipments each time. So that's 2 weeks in a row that I cannot get it to flow into one thing. And that's when, I'll order from wholesaler 1, 200 items. And then from wholesaler 2, I put it in a different batch, 150 items, and they come in, I pack them, and then I want 350 to go to one shipment, and I can't get it to do that. It splits. It will still go to just one.
With Inventory Lab since they changed things. They changed things, and now it doesn't work as good for me.
All right. Next question was kind of weird. I don't know quite how I'm going to answer this one. How do I do if I get the ASIN as FSNKU when I'm printing the labels? You are printing the FSNKU. Barcodes, when you're first starting out on Amazon, it is super confusing, barcodes. We have a whole spiel on barcodes just in our bundle group. But you have the manufacturer barcode, you have your ASIN, you have your MSKU, which is sometimes your SKU, and you have your FSNKU. Your FSNKU goes on and over the UPC barcode from the manufacturer if you're using Amazon's barcodes. If you're using manufacturer barcode and you're doing commingled, that's fine. You leave the manufacturer barcode on there, but you're printing out your FSNKU sticker, does not have the ASIN printed on it. So there's no way to pick up your item that's labeled and know what the ASIN is. You have to go into your inventory and do a search for it.
Andrea, my friend, I feel this pain. I feel your pain, my friend. There are some replens that I've been the only seller on for years that are no longer profitable due to fees, and I have zero competition. And the thing is I cannot price it as high as I would need to in order to profit, because I know nobody would pay that much for it, because it would be just ridiculous. It would be the equivalent of Heinz ketchup and me having to charge $30 for it now to profit. So I feel your pain on that one, my friend.
All right. Listings not searchable. We had a question in one of our groups about nodes and finding and blah, blah, blah. So I'm going to give kind of the overview 30-second thing, because it's definitely a deeper topic, but at the surface, it is really easy. If you are listing something and your product, you're wanting to know if it's indexed, if the nodes are good or not, you're going to go just to Amazon as a buyer. You're going to copy and paste in the ASIN. So the ASIN you're looking for, you're just going to put it in there and see if it shows up. If it says no item found, then your nodes are gone, or you're on the wrong platform. Because if I'm selling in Canada and Tina's in America and she's trying to find it on the American thing, it's not going to show because it's only on the Canada one. So sometimes with my international people, they're in a different country and they're trying to sell on the US. And they're like, I can't see it for sale. Well, you got to go get on the US and then search it and have an address that is a deliverable spot that they can actually ship it to, because it's not going to show available if they cannot deliver it to you. You won't see that. Like, I can't go to the Australian market being in the US and find things that are prime over in Australia, because they're not going to prime it over to America. So the other part is, if you want to copy and paste your exact title over to Amazon, see if it shows up, that would see if your title is indexed or not. And you ideally should show up in the first searches with an exact title match. But if you're not, then your SEO is just off. If you're coming up with an ASIN, then your nodes are there, and you got to work on your SEO, because you're not flagging the system. It's not matching you up very well. All right. Did you have anything you wanted to add on that?
Nope.
Somebody asked for a video on how to apply for an ASIN ungate. You have to buy 10 of that ASIN. Like, I don't know.
From an authorized distributor to get an invoice. Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know why. I'm not doing a separate video on that. It's the same ungate. And just to clarify, ungating can be category level, brand level, or ASIN level. And the applications are the same for both. Let's see here. I got to find another question here, but did we have anything in the audience?
Nope. Nobody's asking nothing.
Somebody says the air machine that I bought is that it breaks down. Okay. Hasn't broken down on me. I'm good. Tina, which app do you use to use the receipts, to save your receipts?
The app that I use to save my receipts is called HubDoc. I get it for free with my Xero subscription, but I don't know if it's free or costs money. Didn't you ask me what I use to digitally store my receipts?
With AdaX. I have AdaX.
No, it was Xero.
Oh, never mind.
With Xero. Does it cost money? Otherwise, I'm not sure. I'm going to look right now. It says pricing. Yeah, it works with, you get it with Xero by itself. It looks like you can try it for free, and then it's $12 a month after a 30-day trial. I don't know if I would want to pay $12 a month to digitally store my receipts, but since it comes with my financial software for free, I really like it. And I will tell you, I do use it quite a bit. Obviously, I store my receipts there digitally, but I also keep them in file folders. And what a great topic, because today, as you know, is Finance Friday. So, woo, woo, Finance Friday. And so I take a picture and it uploads it to HubDoc. And then in my desk drawer, I have one of these desk drawers that pulls out, and it's got the metal strips where I can hang the file folders, like a file cabinet. And I have folders in there for every month of the year. And I also then put my paper receipts in those file folders. However, when I'm having to pull a receipt for possibly fighting a case in Amazon to prove that I bought something, or if I can't remember how much I had paid for something and I'm doing a shipment and I just forgot, I go into HubDoc because I can type in my supplier and it will just pull up their receipt. So I'm not having to dig through my filing cabinet and find it. What month did I buy it in? I may not know. So I love HubDoc for the ease of searching for a receipt. And they're a PDF file, so I just pull up the picture. I enjoy HubDoc. I would think that you could probably use Google Images for free and possibly take photos and save your receipts.
I struggle with organizing
Okay.
electronics.
Yeah, and then if you want to take photos and upload it to yourself as an email, and then within your Gmail account, how you can create folders, you can create them either by year or by store. You can put obviously your emailed online order receipts into said folders, and then if you wanted the extra step of actually having a photocopy of the receipt, you could take a photo, email it to yourself, and then put it in that folder. That would be a free alternative to HubDoc.
Yeah. I know with QuickBooks, I can upload receipts to transactions within QuickBooks. But here's my thing, like the amount of time people spend doing all the electronic junk, it takes me 5 seconds to take the stuff and put it in an envelope and write, January 2023 on it. It's just easier for me. And then I don't have to worry about all the electronics because I work here between 3 computers and at home between 2 or 3 computers. And things are never on the computer that I want it on. So that's why I love the Google Drive and love the cloud for that kind of stuff. But I struggle right now with all my kids' pictures and pictures from pictures. And my phone has like 6,000 pictures on it. And just, I can't find the one I want ever. Those moms that always post like the great reel of, here's my kid growing up through the years. Yeah, I'm not that mom. I can't do that because I don't know where my stuff is. I struggle with it.
I don't even know my kid's name. Who are you?
All right. This next question is, I have a question. I have an item that was removed from my inventory because of a compliance requirement. The options I have is the removal order. Should I go ahead and remove it? Is there any other action on their part? So for this one, if you have the compliance documents, you can go and upload those compliance documents and get it taken care of on that product. If you can't or don't, or it's too much of a problem, you're going to have to recall it and then sell it some other way. But here's the thing. If, let's say during Q4, I'm selling this Barbie doll and it's a newer Barbie doll on the thing, and there's 35 people that are selling this Barbie doll on Amazon, all 35 of those people are going to get the request for compliance paperwork. If just one of them submits the request for paperwork, you'll see it fall off your account and you're good. Like you don't have to do anything because somebody else did. So keep that in mind. I know some people were getting ready to recall their item. They're like, wait a minute, it's not asking for compliance paperwork anymore. Why is that? Well, because somebody submitted it for that ASIN and now it's good to go. RV said, oh, sorry. I took off yours. Yeah, get the fall drinks. If I find profitable products that I am gated in, how would you handle that situation? Get ungated?
Yeah, you have to just get ungated. You have to buy from an authorized distributor 10 units.
Yeah. And if you're thinking about getting Starbucks ungate, you can go to the office stores and get invoices there. Talking Staples, Office Depot, if you're wanting to sell the Starbucks stuff this fall. What is this? Keep getting these notifications for shipment problems. 100% sure everything is shipped is accurate. Is there a solution? Oh my God. Join me in my pain.
Join the club. We all get those. It's very aggravating. And we all get them. It's human error, whether it's our human error or their human error. And you can fight these claims. So let's say you are fairly certain that you had everything accurate in your box. You can dispute this in your shipment. You have that resolve button where you can ask them to please investigate or locate. You can furthermore upload your receipt showing that you bought 6 units of the item. If they said you send in 5, you can prove that you bought 6. That coincides with that your shipment says that you sent in 6. So that is a very good method to do.
Yes, excellent. Charlotte, good morning.
Hi, Charlotte. Do you also teach online arbitrage? Yes and no, I suppose. We've done online arbitrage on some of our lives. We've done a few videos in our paid groups for people who are on our BOLO, like member share BOLO groups or our VA group. We probably should do that a little bit more in those groups than we do. We're very sporadic. But there are certainly a lot of YouTube videos out there teaching that.
Yes, and we do go live a couple times a month, each of us in all the different groups, and we'll go down rabbit trails and just say, this is what I'm looking at in the Keep a Chart. This is what I'm looking at for the, the leads, and how, we'll show what we're actually doing on there. I did it the other day it was some with Halloween. I think it was in the bundle group. And then I think I did the BOLO group. I did both of them at the same time. But I can't remember. My memory is so shot. I have to go look. And then as far as the fighting thing, I wanted to share my story super quick on the counts wrong. So I have seller, you have seller locker, I have seller something.
Yeah, I know it's hard to remember. There's so many seller.
I don't
seller
remember
amp, seller this, seller that.
But I have one of those that matches and gives invoices and fights to clear up those things. And I had about 10 in this last month that the option for Amazon was, this has been verified. You can no longer contest this. So it's just irritating. Yeah, 7 boxes made it. It's very
William, we've all had that, and it just sucks. And you know what? Mostly you can win these cases with Amazon once it's time. But there have been times where they said they received 0 units in my box and I couldn't win my case. And that really ticks me off. Like, really, Amazon, I sent you an empty box. Come on.
No. An empty box that weighed 20 pounds. No.
And Charlotte, yes, you can make the same money OA or RA. Inventory is inventory. So if you're buying enough to profit, whether you bought it OA or RA is irrelevant. So either one of those methods are fine. Both of them put together is fine. It's really a preference.
Yeah, I would say, doing them utilizes a lot of the same skills, but then there's also different skills. So when you're doing retail arbitrage, you're hitting the ground and you need to have store time, boots on the ground in the stores, scanning, or build up those replens that that you can go physically purchase at the stores and drive around to get. So, that type of sourcing has a little bit different techniques than when you're doing OA, because OA, it's about making the orders, stacking all the deals, more so than RA. You can stack deals with RA.
He says, yes, Charlotte, but I think you need more money for OA. William, I'm super curious why you feel that way, because you feel you're getting more clearance sales in stores. Because I got to tell you, a lot of times I am getting better deals online. So I would really be curious of your input on that, because online, like Lucy said, I can stack some coupon deals, and sometimes it's online pricing only. So I've been in Walmart, and I think I made that video in our bundles group, but they had this Barbie item and I scanned it in Walmart with my Walmart app, and it was substantially cheaper online from Walmart than it was in the store. And Walmart was the seller. So I don't always find that to be true. So I'd be really curious of your input on that.
I truly think it depends on what your style is. If my style is to scoop up 90% off seasonal deals, save them to the next year, and do custom bundles with the 90% off seasonal deals the following season, that's going to be a lot more lucrative and not as cash heavy because you're getting them 90% off. If you're doing replens of commodities that are used daily and you're not following sales and stacking them, then you're looking at 10 to 20% profit margins and a really cash heavy. So, what are you sourcing? Are you sourcing shoes or are you sourcing crackers? Are you sourcing seasonal percents off or are you searching high-end jewelry? I just don't know what you're sourcing and what your margins are. And really, it's a time money sink. I can go out and spend more time sourcing and have tighter controls, meaning I'm looking for 100% ROI. I'm looking for 50% or 500, 50,000 rank or less. I'm going to find less items, but they'll be better. Or I can go out and say 30% or better ROI, and I want to make $3 or more, and I will find more items, so less time, but I'm dealing with more stuff. So,
Aha. Gabe's, Ollie's Bar. Yeah, those kind of stores. And, I have 0 of those stores in my city. So for people who have those, and I know somebody that we work with has a store called Roses, I believe is what it's called. I think it's like an Ollie's. So not every state has these stores. So for those of you who do have these stores, like William mentions, great for you because not all of the nation has these. And I know those stores are really great for sourcing. I've never even been in one or seen one. So
yeah, I've not been to any of those stores. Charlotte, how can you learn online arbitrage? I plugged Tina's Fiverr link. So if you want one-on-one, go join there. If you want just general community, we have a Facebook group. If you want more in depth, we have paid groups. So any of those are good. You do whatever you want, or you can just go over to YouTube and do like Amazon FBA online arbitrage and see what comes up. There's a lot of videos and they all have good stuff to them. Let's see here. What retail stores does Amazon let you submit invoices to get ungated? We have a list of those. Almost every YouTube channel or YouTube video I have has a list of all the stores we do that from. So just go look at there and then go to those stores. It really is any of my, because I think you made the channel today, so I didn't have my list of crud to go to.
Yeah, I thought it automatically populated on your.
No, I'd have to go add it. So it won't be down in the description today, but on other videos that I've done, it's down in the description.
Look, William, quit bragging, okay?
Nice. Yeah. I like the Asian stores because I'm right next to all the Asian stores and we love Asian food and we have all the Asian stores. And I wish I spoke any of those languages because it would make my life easier. But my son took a little bit of Japanese, but that's where I'm at. So if you have those stores, like capitalize on your area, right? I love going in. We have a Wajamaya's, which is, if you ever hear, you know what I'm talking about. It's got a long name, but it's great to go in and scan at because that stuff's not at the other stores. So weird candies, matcha Kit Kats and things like that. I can pick up hundreds of dollar items that sell for 8 to 15. Awesome. That's really fun. Charlotte says, I'm not in the US, so I'm basically looking for lessons on online arbitrage. Yeah. Yep. Hit Tina up. She's awesome at showing you that. If you want one-on-one like coaching, if you want to just see how other people do it, go to Google, go to YouTube. We get that a lot on Fiverr. They're like, well, can you teach us for free? We teach every Friday for free, guys. Free. Nobody's paying to be here. We get a little bit of money from advertising, but really it's not.
I get $0. I don't even have 1,000 subscribers to my channel. And that's the minimum to start being able to earn.
I get
for over a year. I do this for free because I love it, because it's fun. And I'm always happy to be chatting with all of you guys.
Yes. And there there's hours of content out on YouTube. If you tell me you don't know how to do something, there is a YouTube video about that. I'm telling you.
I love YouTube.
I have learned how to wire things, fix things, change air filters, all the things on YouTube. So
that's how we learned to use our Cricut machine. Like I use YouTube for everything.
It's a time money thing. And that's where it comes down to. A lot of the people that I coach on Fiverr, it's because they want to get their problem fixed now because they have spent 3 hours on the phone with Amazon and their time is worth the whatever we're charging for an hour to get it done. Like we will sit there, we will get it done. Or they could go watch 6 hours of YouTube. I mean, you pick how valuable your time is, how much capital you have to spend. So, I mean, I love the Facebook groups. I get little nuggets there and it just builds in my brain for the parts that I don't forget. It builds. There's a lot of parts I forget. OA can be a pain keeping track of all the orders. Yep.
Google Sheets, my man. Google Sheets. Look, I never used a Google Sheet until Lucy, because like I'm the creative, she's the analytical, and that's why we work great together. And now I'm a Google Sheet user. And so if you, the OA orders, you can keep track through other different tools while you're sourcing online. If you do use Inventory Lab, which I think you do, if you download their Scout X calculator tool, as you're buying online and using the calculator on Scout X while you're on Amazon, you can save it automatically. Click the button. It just goes to your Google Sheet. It'll be what store you bought it at, how much you paid, everything. Or you can copy and paste onto your own spreadsheet the orders. You can. And I feel you though, William, because I started off Amazon only doing retail arbitrage. I hated online arbitrage, absolutely hated it. I didn't get it. I just, COVID made me a quick learner how to do OA, and now I love it. I do retail arbitrage still as well, but I love online arbitrage.
All right. So William says, remind me to pay you double.
Yes, I'll be sending you that bill. Just give me your Venmo, your
Mark, you can get videos. You can go to anybody's YouTube channel and just type in the search and search what you're looking to do.
Yeah.
All right. Next question. We got a couple of questions left and then we'll wrap it up for the day. Okay. Do you have a few minutes, Tina?
I have a few minutes. Lucy knows I keep a schedule.
Yeah.
Friday.
Oh, and I'm I'm just busy and all sorts of, which I'm not going to be here next Friday, but you're going to do live.
I will do live. So I'm either going to do it by myself or I may have another friend, Amazon friend, join next week.
Excellent. There's my appointment's at 8:30, so there's just no way. All right. Does the address have to match what's in the main LLC because issue is registered agent service, but they don't provide receiving of Amazon cards. So I'm confused on what to do about it. Or will Amazon allow me to add other addresses different from the LLC? You can have different addresses in your Amazon account. And if you're just using it to match up invoices and stuff, that address needs to be associated with your account. So you have your main address for your tax paperwork where they're going to send you your tax stuff at the end of the year. You have your display address, which for me, it's my PO box. And there's another spot for addresses and I can't remember what it is, but you can have several different addresses within the Amazon. And then if you're using an invoice to get ungated, one of those addresses needs to be in your Amazon account somewhere. Charlotte said, Tina, you're clicking at the same time I'm clicking. Quickly, can I start with $1,000? What profit margin should I expect for? Those are questions that you're going to have to map out yourself. If you want to start with $1,000 and you want your profit margin to be 10%, you can find tons of stuff. If you want your profit margin to be 300%, you're going to find like one. So how fast do you need to flip your money? How many items do you want to get? Tina and I are both kind of going towards the model where we make more per item and we send in less. So we'd rather make $5 or $10 an item than $1 or $2 an item and send in less items and source less items because it's less labor, less complaints, less inventory, less capital tied up, all of that. But finding those better items to source and the better ROI takes more time and effort. So yeah, it is what it is. What are you messaging me? No. No. Thanks for the info as you broke it down. Let me see if I have any other things. Somebody says, was this your first inauthentic? Okay, talking about an inauthentic complaint and having multiple invoices. You certainly can send in multiple invoices for an inauthentic complaint. In fact, if you need to show that you sell lots of that item, you're going to have multiple invoices. You need to make it as easy peasy for the rep. Sometimes I will put those invoices all in one file. Like say it's 10 pages of invoices. It's going to be one PDF that's 10 pages long that shows 20 items, 30 items, 50 items. So the total amount shows the volume you're selling. So if you're selling 50 a month and they want to see 6 months worth of invoices, you're going to have to provide that. Marcy says she's been a one-screen gal on Amazon as well, which I did ask her about the hurricane the other day. Marcy is doing well. She's fine. I messaged her. She skirted that hurricane. The hurricane went up, but there's the new hurricane coming in. I can't remember what it is, but my goodness, it looks like it's going to be a doozy. So if you're out in Florida, if you're in Florida, batten down, man. It looks bad coming in.
Florida gets hit every year.
Yeah. Yeah.
I always feel bad for people that, their neighborhoods and like Oklahoma gets hit a lot of times with these tornadoes. It's got to be frightening and devastating for people who lose everything. If it does actually hit your home, it breaks my heart.
It does. William says, go wide, not deep. Yep. That was my talk with my lady yesterday. Mm-hmm. She's got a lot of leads and she wanted to buy 200 to 300 of each. And I'm going, wow, no, that's a lot. That's a lot. If you're looking at some of these leads, I would go 3 to 10 of each and see how they do, because you could get them and they could be crud. So I got a barbecue sauce in. It's a replen. It's off one of our lists. I got a barbecue sauce this week that I've been replenning for, I don't know. I think the lead came out somewhere in February, March. Still good. Here we are, September, still good, still on it. And
I'm thinking, how many hundreds of dollars over the months have you made on that?
I don't know.
See, and that's where it can be good.
I didn't look that up. You don't pop quiz me right now, Tina. But some of the barbecue sauces have an early expiration date. And so I went to the source and I complained and they don't want it back and they refunded me everything. And I'm like, well, I only had 4 of them that were bad, but whatever. Now it's free inventory. And I now have 4 barbecue sauces for the house. So, you have those things, and she's going to work with a third party center, and you kind of got to learn the ins and outs of OA, because those are problems that come in. We had some glass items. I got delivered broken glass pretties. I got to deal with that today. So every sourcing thing has its pros and cons. I love that it's delivered and that everything's, pretty much on the computer, but yeah, you got to deal with all that.
And start with where that gives me a good food for thought. I was working with a client this last week, and they're new to Amazon. They haven't even sent in anything or listed anything yet, got their account set up, and they were trying to source from AliExpress and Alibaba, and they just didn't know what to do. And as we got talking, and I was talking with them about starting with what you know or starting with what your resources already were, the answer was right there. Sometimes it takes a bit of conversation to get you out of your own head. This guy gets 40% off at Disney, and his father works at Burlington and has access to his employee discount card of 15% off everything at Burlington every day. And I'm like, there's where you source. Yeah. You don't need Alibaba, AliExpress. Are you kidding me? Like, you could live off Disney and Burlington alone.
Oh, yeah. For sure. For sure. Disney is amazing.
Yeah, I was jealous. I'm like, I want 40% off at Disney. I want 15 at Burlington.
Yeah. And that's the thing. I could sit here and give you the pros and the cons on every single one. Disney, IP complaints. Awesome product, sells really fast. Great quality products at Disney. And they will flip really quick, hot items, but you may have some IP issues or toy compliance, etc. Burlington, awesome flips. I love it. I still selling some of my bras from my summer hauls. You can find bras for $5-6 and sell them for $39.99. Awesome ROIs, easy to pack, doesn't weigh anything, shipping's easy, returns are pretty simple. They usually go back to Amazon, then get sold again, so I don't get a whole lot back. But the cons are, my Burlington has a screaming child or 3 every time I go there. So if you're fine shopping with screaming going on and nasty stuff everywhere and just, we have such a great clientele there. That's and it's 30 minutes from my house. So, you've got your pros, you've got your cons. Is it worth going out there? If I'm going to make $300 off of bras, yeah, I'll put up with some screaming. I can wear some earbuds. I can, you can cope with the negative. Every pro has a con. Every pro has a con. So, what do you know? What are you comfortable with? What doesn't irritate you the most? I guess it's the thing, because we have to work, we have to live, we have to eat, and how you do all that is up to you.
The end.
Hold on, mic drop. All right, well, I don't have anything. What are you doing today, Tina?
It's Finance Friday. Whoop! How many other people do the Finance Friday with me? I know Millennial Money Mom does. Yes, today is a bookkeeping, running numbers, looking at items I need to replan, just all of the business tasks and things I do every Friday, unless there's a rare other thing going on. But that's my plan today. How about you?
Oh, what am I doing? Oh, I got to get some stuff out. My inventory is piled up, and then I got to get some replens ordered. So replanning and ordering and getting it out. And we were watching my friend's dog. And so my dog is resting at home, and I didn't want the new dog. Well, Mike's dog is like a 2-year-old puppy that has so much energy. I mean, like the most energetic dog I have ever been around. This dog does not quiet down at all. So I'm like, you're going to work with me because you can run around the office all day and not bother my old doggies that are on bed rest.
R&R.
Yeah. So Mike came over last night for dinner and dropped the dog off. And he's like, well, the dog has maybe a little limp in the back leg. I don't see it, but whatever. Anyhow. And I'm like, you came to the right house, because everybody's on drugs. Everybody is recovering. Everybody has problems. We got meds everywhere. It's just a rehab center.
Center. Canes and wheelchairs and walkers.
Oh, yeah. I got the shower seat, and then we've got the crutches and the meds all lined up. And I've got everybody's like med documented and everything. And then I got groceries being delivered because I've had no time to go grocery shopping. But thank goodness for Walmart Plus. Yeah. Not a huge, I don't love Walmart, but my God, I between my son's getting ready to move out in another week, not this weekend, next weekend. Yeah, next weekend he's moving out, and then the husband on layup, and then my daughter's starting school. So that's anyhow.
Yeah.
CBDs. Yeah. This dog has CBD oil. He won't take the treats. So you have to shove CBD oil down his throat. But I don't think he left. Yeah, he did leave it in the bag, but that's at home. So Finance September. Yeah, I just did inventory and everything last weekend. So my finances are good. And I've got a pile of paperwork to do here too, though.
Yes. So. All right. And so before we sign off, I do want to mention that it begins next week. So for any of you who want to join our BOLO group, it's by far our cheapest group that I get the most value out of every year at Christmas time. And it's our BOLO group. It's only $30 to join it, where all of us share BOLOs. I share BOLOs. Lucy does. All of you that are in the group share BOLOs. We keep it nice and small. This is great for people who like to do retail arbitrage, although I do share quite a few online arbitrage deals. It's mostly RA. So if you're interested in that, it's only $30 and you get more than your money's worth of BOLOs. We only run it through Q4. So if you're interested in that group, we would love to have you guys. So go sign up, William. That's how you owe me. No, I'm just kidding.
That's what I wanted to mention. So if you're in that group, and we only have a handful, but that's on my list to do today. I had my VA pull all my BOLOs from November, December, and had her break it down. And so the main stores that I was shopping on, I'm going to highlight those and then have her take anything that is good and put it into a Google list. And then we share that list within the group. So when you're at the store, you can open up, Fred Meyer's is my big one because I've got 50,000 Fred Meyer's around here. But I'll go to Fred Meyer and then I go into my Amazon, go to my wish list for Fred Meyer. And then I'm like, oh yeah, boom, 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 boom. And I can see it all. And she does that for the group. So it'll be awesome. So I'll be going live and I'll be going through all of last year's Q4 bolos and sharing.
Yeah, and I've been posting all week, and I started last week posting. So for the few people that are in there, I've already been posting some leads, and
I bought your leads the other day, and that's what we did live sourcing with was the one with the glass that wound up doing. So we did live sourcing there, which is always fun. I love doing live sourcing like that.
Yeah. So consider joining us over there. We'd love to have you guys. And with that, have a great weekend, everybody. Thank you for watching. Thank you for joining. Please like and subscribe to our videos because it does help us here on YouTube. And with that, I say goodbye.
Yep. See you later, Jenny. We'll see you over there. And William and Nate.